Hello and welcome back. Today I wanted to work on the resonating chicken because this allows me to make UU matter. Last time I was working on ore multiplication, but this is an EV centrifuge recipe, which is fine. I have an EV centrifuge, or I could run this, but I think the power cost here is not really something I can sustain at the moment, along with everything else in my base. So I've kind of decided that I'm just going to set up the arc furnace, which is the next step, the blazing pyrotheum, the one before the UU matter step, and I'll come back to UU matter in the future. So right now I have the starlight in the chem bath, then I have the life essence and mana in the chemical reactor, and I have blazing pyrotheum in the advanced arc furnace. Except I don't actually have blazing pyrotheum per se. I have set up a level maintainer request for pyrotheum dust. So all I need to do is fluid extract it, and then, we're good. Well, I keep saying fluid extract, but that's not a thing in this version of CraigTech. It's just extract. So I need to extract the pyrotheum dust to get blazing pyrotheum, and then my ore multiplication is done for now. UU matter I'll do in the future. Instead, today I'm going to work on upgrading my power situation. I could have done this for quite a while now, but I really need a distillation tower. Because this method of distillation with 2 basic distilleries, I've been pushing this to its limit. Like, this should not be sustaining me right now, but somehow it is. So I am absolutely going to be switching to a distillation tower. But I'll take a look at the cost for that after I'm done with the blazing pyrotheum situation. Alright, let's take a look at the distillation tower. I'm probably not going to build a max height one. I'm probably just going to build as high as I need outputs, which in this case is... Wait a minute. Wait, I don't think I can. Can I? Because I'm using this crystallized oil stuff, right? That gets mixed in a mixer. I am pretty sure this is not a distillation tower recipe at all. Okay, that's a bit annoying. There's also this route that's now opened up to me using empowered canola seeds. This needs a HV chem reactor, which I can make. This does need infinity dust, which is a little bit annoying, but it should be okay with a bit of effort. The crystallized canola, the liquid starlight, and that gets me empowered canola seeds, which get mixed with the crystallized oil to make empowered oil. And this can be distillation towered. Okay. Oh, and it gives you diesel straight up, along with sulfuric naphtha and sulfuric gas. That's right, sulfuric gas. Amazing. And then, actually, if I make some tetranitromethane, I can make cetane boosted diesel, which is HV. I can actually boost that some more with some more liquid starlight and some lithium. And that gets me infused nitro diesel, which I think is probably better than hog, if I were to guess. Let's see. Infused nitro diesel is 2560 EU per millibucket. Oh no, hog is better. There's more. Interesting. But hog is a lot more effort. Maybe I skip hog for once. I usually always do hog, but I've done it twice now in my life. Actually, no, I've done it 3 times. So maybe I skip the hog and maybe I go for the unique fuel that exists here, which is the infused nitro diesel. There's also a trophy for making some, so I'm gonna have to do it eventually. And in fact, there's a whole little quest thing about it. Okay, cool. That answers that. I am definitely going to be doing this. So, distillation tower, the recipe is pretty standard. Some HV pumps, some EV circuits, stainless steel. And the stainless steel casings are, of course, just made of stainless steel. So I need essentially a ton of stainless steel and some EV circuits. And I probably need more space, so I'm probably just going to extend this out a bit. Should be fine. One of those things I need, like I mentioned, is infinity dust. So I've expanded my my little system here, and I've also pointed the fans that way so that I can actually get out of here without dying. But actually I need to make a few changes. Ow. But this should spawn mobs a lot better and also kill them, and then send the drops into this vacuum hopper. And it's kind of chill. It's a bit annoying. It's still not fully automated. I still have to place the infinity dust to make the clouds to spawn mobs myself. But so far I've gotten nearly 2 stacks of grains of infinity, which is pretty good, but I did a bit of math, and for the double compressed infinity dust block, I need 729 grains. But once I have those grains, the Nightmare Chicken just makes liquid nightmares forever for free, and That's going to be a very chill source of infinity dust. And I can rely on it a bit more because it's not RNG dependent. And I did say before that I was thinking of skipping the Nightmare Chicken, but I think I'm going to do it anyway because the infinity dust is useful. And just for, completion's sake, why not? But this does mean I need to unlock Infusion. So I have to do a bit of research, and that's fine. I'm going to do that. And I'm also going to just manually set up this whole infinity dust thing and start collecting more grains of infinity. Hopefully I can get the full 729 before I'm done with setting up Infusion. It's not the nicest Infusion. These are some pretty gross essentials to get, but it is what it is, I guess. Now, to actually get Infusion unlocked, it's a bit of a pain because the Infusion research requirement is a file of air essentia. And to get files of essentia, I need an essentia smeltery, which needs all of these different types of crystals. And this looks really, really tedious for kind of no reason. I just have to burn stuff and quartz sliver it into crystals. That doesn't really seem like fun. But I have the solution. Thank you, Questbook, for giving me the Infusion research. Kind of weirdly, it says that it gives me all the prerequisites, but it doesn't give me essentia smelting, so I'm not sure what's happening. But now that I've unlocked Infusion, I may as well unlock everything else, to be honest, so... That's some warp, that's fine. Golemancy, Foci, Artifice, some base Eldritch research, some, Oh wait, that's it. That should be everything. I do like the Thaumcraft minigame in this version of Thaumcraft, but some of these tasks are a little too tedious. Anyway, that's Infusion unlocked. Hope you don't mind too much, you know how I feel about Thaumcraft. Now to actually make the Runic Matrix, I need Arcane Stone bricks, which are pretty easy to make. I need Nacre and NEV crystals. A Runic Matrix. Cool, that's Infusion. Now to set this up, I need a few more things. I need some Arcane Pedestals, which are just more Arcane Stone. And also some, Arcane Stone for the actual, the structure. Besides that, I'm going to need some kinds of stabilizers, and I think mob skulls should do the trick. And I have plenty of my own skull as well, so should really not be too bad at all. Alright, everything's been gathered. The only question left to answer is, where do I put this thing? And I don't think that's a very easy question to answer, actually. I'm kind of thinking at the top of this mountain, kind of. I am going to put the entire setup within one chunk, because I didn't do that in HamCorp, and I kept having weird Infusion, not instabilities exactly, but just I couldn't rely on it, and I am not going to assume I can rely on it ever again, pretty much. But it could have been because it was crossing a chunk boundary, so I'm going to make an effort here to make sure that it doesn't cross the chunk boundary, in the hopes that maybe I can one day learn to trust Infusion. The day will not be today, though. Anyway, I need to do a little bit of terraforming. I'm just going to make it flat and set it up over here. Shouldn't take too long. Here we are. Infusion. Might be hated. Now, to make the Nightmare Chicken, I do need to gather up the rest of the grains of infinity to make the double compressed infinity dust block. So I'm probably just going to spend some time kind of AFK. I also do need to gather up these aspects, actually, now that I look at this. Which does mean I need to make an Essentia Smeltery, but this is pretty cheap and pretty easy. Some Arcane Bellows would be nice as well, and this is also quite cheap. I think I've made these before for something else. Vaguely remember that. And the Arcane Alembics. It's a little bit of microcrafting because I need Essentia filters, but it really isn't that bad. It needs some silverwood, some white carpet. Not bad at all. So I'm going to gather up all of that stuff. I'm going to set those up as well. Probably swap out the floor here to look a little bit less lawn-basey. And I got to place a bunch of heads. Here at HamCorp, we have some insane head game. Cool. Essentia Smeltery. Easy. I'm going to set this up with Arcane Bellows, because that makes it quite a bit faster. Something like this should be fine. I've also got my Arcane Alembics prepared. I'm going to put them on top. They look a little different than the ones I'm used to, but it's kind of cool. I like this texture a bit more. Cool. This is now functional. Now I got to gather up these 5 different Essentias. Let's see, so I need Potentia. I got to find a source for this. Redstone torches seem pretty nice. It's just pure Potentia. Tenebrae. Looks like Obsidian might be okay. It also has Ignis and Terra, but that's probably fine to have a little bit of extra for other stuff. So let's call it obsidian for now. Volatus, chickens apparently have them, but I'm sure feathers are also an option, right? Yeah, feathers are pretty close to pure. They have air as well, which is fine. Another elemental is not a problem. Alienus is, as always, going to be ender pearls, I guess. Where are the ender pearls? Here. 10 ender pearls and modus. Okay, that's nice. That's actually a pretty useful one. Cool, so ender pearls. And finally, ex animus. None of these sources are really that nice. They all seem to come with a billion other things. The best, as far as I can tell, is probably like the zombie brain or the mob heads. I'll probably use the zombie brains. I only need like 2, so it shouldn't be an issue. Okay, I'm gonna gather up all the stuff. I have about half the infinity dust that I need. Nothing a bit of AFK won't solve, while I also craft up the stuff for the distillation tower. Cool, Nightmare Chicken is almost here. Oh, I should have made some goggles of revealing. Can't see anything. Also, why does it look like it's fluxy? Has this always been an unclean machine? Uh-oh. It's fine. What could go wrong? Anyway, I got some warded jars here. Hopefully I get all of the stuff at once. Yeah, here's all the potentia. Ah, shit. I need to wait for this to actually, like, fill up. Little jank without the goggles of revealing, but I'll survive. Oh man, it is lossy. I've lost 20%. I should probably upgrade to a Thaumium Essentia smelter as soon as I can, but I need some files of Essentia to submit, and I don't think I can just skip this by buying it in the quest book, because that's just not an option. Well, I could make the Ancient Thaumonomicon now. It's actually not that hard. This should give me all the research. Maybe it's too soon. I do need to make this for one of the final quests, I think. Yeah, here, Ancient Thaumonomicon. So I will have to make it eventually, but I feel like it's a bit too soon for me to just give up on Thaumcraft, so I'm not going to make that just yet. Well, I need to burn more stuff because I don't have enough for my craft. Well, I don't have enough grains of infinity anyway, so it's no big deal. Ooh, distillation tower. Just in time too. I very nearly have enough grains of infinity. I need another 6, and the infinity dust has been providing. Once that's done, I'm going to quickly make the Nightmare Chicken, stat it up, and then I'm going to start planning out my base expansion for the full oil processing line. Well, you know, the nitro-infused diesel version. So it won't be quite as big as a normal oil processing line, I don't think. That said, I have kind of just been plopping down machines here without really thinking about it. Like, it's pretty evident to me that this is one block, this is a block, this is a block, and so on, but like, it's not really well organized, and I did that because I only have single blocks. But I think I need to start planning to have multi-blocks, because I don't know how far I can stretch this infused nitro diesel once I have it, but based on how the pack has been so far, I don't think I need to scale it too much. I think one set of multis should be plenty. And that should get me to whatever the next power source is. What even is the next power source? These 4 quests are about power generation, so like the large combustion engine. I should probably make that too, but yeah, that's another task. I guess it's fusion, right? It's probably fusion, the next power source, which is usually at like LUV. So I feel like the infused nitro diesel would be able to take me there if I did it with multis. So yeah, I'm going to plan this out a bit more, and I think it's high time I get some kind of flight and actually finish my building, especially the skyscraper, which I've been talking about since episode like 2, and I just haven't done it yet. I really should. Oh, I could make this. I could make the Advanced Nanomuscle Suit Chestplate, also known as the Advanced Nano Chestplate. This looks kind of doable to me. I haven't totally looked through every single item here, but I don't think there's anything really blocking me. This all seems quite doable. The hardest part, I think, is going to be the mainframe, but I can make these. I just need an HV circuit assembler, which I happen to have made. Oh, I don't think I showed it. I've added quite a few machines here to the to the auto crafting line. It's a mess. It is not organized at all. As you can see, there's a mixer here. There's a mixer here. There's a... yeah, it's kind of a mess, but it doesn't matter because I'm never interfacing with these by hand anyway, so who cares? And they're all going to get replaced by multi-blocks, and when that happens, I'll actually organize it. But for now, this is One of those temporary setups that may end up not being quite so temporary. Anyway, let's get this chicken going. Oh boy, the first infusion. I hate this. I'm doing a backup. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Alright, in this pack, to start the infusion, I need to use the caster's gauntlet, not a wand. So let me see, I have all of the essentia required. I have the materials, and I've done my backup. Let's go. Hello? Oh, weird. What happens if I time in a bottle? I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that. Ooh. A nightmare chicken. Nice. I gotta level this guy up now. Once this is done, I will be making nightmare enriched eggs, which just makes liquid nightmares, straight up. So that's pretty nice. I'll do that between episodes, and at the start of the next episode, I'm also going to have the advanced nanosuit chestplate. I don't think it's really that... Well, I guess there's the mainframe. Okay, we'll just do that next time. I'll see you next time.